Hello wine people, welcome to Thirsty and Wise, where we simplify wine. This is video number 21 in our series of videos where I answer multiple choice questions on specific wine regions for WSET Level 3 in wines. This whole series of videos with multiple choice questions is part of our Thirsty and Wise study and support program for WSET Level 3 in wines program. In this video, I'm going to be answering 50 multiple choice questions specifically about Germany. So this multiple choice questions where we're answering multiple choice questions on specific wine regions and countries is part of your learning outcome number 2 in your WSET Level 3 in wines exam, where you're going to have 28 questions to answer on your multiple choice part of the exam. These multiple choice questions are also a great opportunity for you to not just memorize this information. You need to know this information as facts, but more importantly, in order to pass the short written answer part, you should always be asking questions. Why is this important? How does this affect the style, quality, and price of the wine? All right, so let's go. So what is the most widely planted grape variety in Germany? Pinot Noir, Müller-Thurgau, Riesling, Silvaner. The correct answer is C, Riesling. Okay. What type of climate is prevalent in most of Germany's wine regions? Mediterranean, continental, maritime, alpine. The correct answer is B, cool continental climate. What is the key feature of vineyards in Mosel region? Steep slopes with slate soils reflecting sunlight, fertile plains with heavy clay soils, flat vineyards with volcanic soils, high altitude terraces with sandy soils. The correct answer is A, steep slopes with slate soils reflecting sunlight. So you should be asking your question, well, why is this steep slopes and slate soils, why they're important in Mosel? What does the term Spätlese indicate in German wine labeling? A wine made from early harvested grapes, a wine made from late harvested grapes with high sugar levels, a wine with high tannins and bold flavors, a wine with sparkling characteristics. The correct answer is, so Spätlese is a term that indicates late harvest wines, a wine made from late harvested grapes, which automatically means that the sugar level in these grapes is going to be higher. What is the primary focus of VDP classification system? Designating wines by sweetness levels, categorizing vineyards based on consensus for quality, including Grosses Gewächs or GG for best dry wines, restricting the use of international grape varieties, ensuring all wines are blended. The correct answer is B, categorizing vineyards based on consensus for quality, including GG wines for best dry wines. This VDP classification system is a system made by independent producers, so it's not part of the German law, but because of this VDP, the influence of the VDP members is so strong that it is that basically they're dictating how the laws in Germany should reflect high quality grape production, meaning focusing more on where the grapes are coming from instead of just focusing on the sugar levels. What style of wine is associated with Kabinett category in Germany? High acidity sparkling wines, delicate wines with high acidity and flavors of green apple, often balanced with residual sugar, bold, full-bodied red wines, dry wines with tropical fruit flavors. So this is something that people confuse all the time. So Kabinett category is part of the 6 predicate levels in Germany that is focusing not on the level of sugar in the wine, which many people believe, but actual ripeness of the grapes. So Kabinett is the first category, which indicates that these wines are always going to be more on a fresher style regarding the fruit ripeness than Spätlese or Auslese or Spätlese, especially Bernauslese and Trockenbeerenauslese. So the correct answer is B, delicate wines with high acidity and flavors of green apple, often balanced with residual sugar. They don't have to have residual sugar, but it is very common for German wines, especially on the Kabinett level, these wines that are very high in acidity and very fresh, to have a little bit of residual sugar to balance out the acidity. But this is not mandatory, and there's so many German wines that are dry and have a high acidity and are amazing. It is just, I don't know, Germany has this reputation. Before, they were producing mass production of very cheap, simple, off-dry wines that is still a synonym for many people when they say German Riesling, which is not true. What distinguishes Beerenauslese, or BA for short, wines from Auslese wines? So BA wines can have noble rot and are always sweet. BA wines are always dry, while Auslese wines are medium sweet. Auslese wines are made only from red grapes, while Beerenauslese wines are white. BA wines are sparkling, while Auslese are still. So the correct answer is A, BA wines can have noble rot and are always sweet. So the first three predicate levels, Kabinett, Spätlese and Auslese, can have residual sugar but can be dry. When you come to Beerenauslese or ice wine, wines are always sweet. And BA wines can have noble rot, it's not mandatory. What is the primary style of ice wine? Naturally sweet wines made from frozen grapes, focusing on varietal purity and high acidity. Sparkling wines with tropical fruit flavors, medium-bodied dry wines with floral aromas, fortified wines with high alcohol content. So the correct answer is A, naturally sweet wines. When I say naturally sweet, meaning that there's no additional sugar added to the wines, and also the fermentation in the wine stops naturally because of the high sugar level. Focusing on varietal purity and high acidity. So with ice wines, there's no noble rot. The grapes are perfectly healthy and just showcase the varietal character of the grapes. What is the significance of slate soils in German vineyards? They reduce yields for more concentrated wines. They promote higher sugar levels in red grapes. They increase acidity levels in the wine. They retain heat and reflect sunlight, aiding grape ripening in cooler regions. The correct answer is D. They retain heat and reflect sunlight, aiding grape ripening in cooler regions like Germany, especially in a cool region like Mosel. What is the most important black grape variety in Germany? Dornfelder, Spätburgunder, also known as Pinot Noir, Trollinger, Schwarzriesling. The correct answer is B, Pinot Noir or Schwarzriesling. What distinguishes Silvaner wines in Germany, especially in Franken? They have earthy characteristics and are grown on south-facing slopes. They are exclusively sweet wines. They are always sparkling wines. They lack regional variations in style. So the correct answer is A. They have earthy character and are grown on best sites in Franken on south-facing slopes. Silvaner is the most important grape variety in Franken region. What is the key feature of Rheingau Riesling compared to Mosel Riesling? They are lighter in body and lower in acidity. They have a medium to full-bodied with riper peach fruit flavors. They are exclusively sparkling wine. They are sweeter with tropical fruit flavors. The correct answer is B. Why is this the case? Because Rheingau is slightly warmer region than Mosel, and now we should be asking ourselves, so why is Rheingau warmer region than Mosel? What are the factors in the vineyard that are making Rheingau a warmer region in Germany? They have, so the correct answer is B. They have a medium to full-bodied, riper fruit than Mosel. What is the role of noble rot in Trockenbeerenauslese, or TBA for short, wines? It increases acidity and reduces sugar levels. It is essential for achieving high must weight and sweet concentrated flavors. It softens the tannins in red wines. It adds herbal aromas to the wine. The correct answer is B. It is essential for achieving high mass weights and sweet concentrated flavors. What is the typical alcohol content for dry Kabinett wines? 6 to 7, 8 to 9, 10 to 12, 13 to 14% of alcohol. The correct answer is C, 10 to 12. So when Kabinett wines when the fermentation finishes all the way through, the wines are between 10 and 12% alcohol. What are the primary flavors of Riesling wines from the Mosel? Tropical fruit and vanilla, floral green apple and high acidity, red berry and spice, herbal and earthy tones. The correct answer is B, floral green apple and high acidity. What is the primary feature of wines labeled as Trocken in Germany? They're medium sweet, they're exclusively white wines made from Riesling, they're dry wines, they're sparkling wines with high acidity. The correct answer is C, these are dry wines. Trocken means dry in German. What is the significance of term grosse Gewächs or GG in Germany? It indicates sweet wines made from noble rot grapes. It designates top quality dry wines from VDP classified vineyards. It refers to sparkling wines produced in traditional method. It represents wines blended from multiple regions. The correct answer is B. It designates top quality dry wines from VDP classified vineyards. Grosse Gewächs or GG is basically a designation of the best vineyards in Germany, something close to like Grand Cru in Burgundy, and the producers are focusing on highest quality vineyards, top quality grapes produced specifically for dry wine production. Which German wine region is most associated with Silvaner? Rhein, Mosel, Franken, Baden. The correct answer is C, Franken. What distinguishes red wines from Baden compared to other German regions? They are lighter and lower in alcohol, they are fuller bodied, often made from Spätburgunder, Pinot Noir, they are sweet and fortified, they are blended with white varieties. The correct answer is B. They are full bodied, often made from Spätburgunder, Pinot Noir. Baden is slightly more south in Germany, and it has a slightly warmer climate that benefits Pinot Noir. I mean, Pinot Noir is a cool climate grape, but Germany is very cold, so saying slightly warmer, meaning warm enough that is perfect for Pinot Noir. What is the typical style of wines labeled as fine herb in Germany? All dry wines with balance of sweetness and acidity, bone dry wines with high acidity, sparkling wines with moderate residual sugar, sweet wines with noble rot influence. The correct answer is A, of dry wines with a balance of sweetness and acidity. So Trocken is the term used for dry wines, for the Qualitätsweins. And the fine herb is a term that would indicate that the wine has residual sugar inside. What is unique about vineyards in Mosel region? They're located at high altitudes with flat terrain. They're planted on steep slate slopes that enhance grape ripening in a cool climate. They are primarily used in red wine production. For red wine production, they have volcanic soils that produce earthy wines. The correct answer is, we answered this several times, they are planted on steep slate slopes that enhance grape ripening in a cool climate. What is the role of Müller-Thurgau in German wine production? It is a hybrid grape primarily used for sparkling wines. It is exclusively used for noble rot wines. It produces simple floral fruity wines, often for bulk production. It adds tannin and body to blends. The correct answer is C. It produces simple floral fruity wines, often for bulk production. Müller-Thurgau was made as it is a crossing grape, it's not a hybrid, and it was made to produce high quality wines suitable for a cool climate like Germany. It was meant to, to have the characteristic of a Riesling, but to be able to grow, I would say, better in such a cool climate. But it felt short, and it's mostly used for simple bulk wine production. What is the primary feature of ice wine production? Grapes are harvested early to retain acidity. Grapes are frozen on the vine, concentrating sugar and acidity for sweet wines. Grapes are pressed immediately after harvest to prevent oxidation. Grapes are fermented at low temperature to enhance freshness. So the main primary feature of ice wine production is picking the grapes when they're frozen. This freezing will concentrate the water inside the grapes, whatever is left. And then everything else, when the water is removed, will get more concentrated, which is flavor, sugar, and acidity. What is the style of Trockenbeerenauslese TBA wines? High acidity with green fruit flavors, intense sweetness with dried fruit, honey, and marmalade aromas, medium body with citrus and floral notes, crisp and herbaceous with grassy tones. And the correct answer is B, intense sweetness with dried fruit, honey, and marmalade aromas. What characterizes the climate in the Rheingau region? A cool continental climate with warm river influence, a warm Mediterranean climate with minimum rainfall, a maritime climate with high humidity, an alpine climate with late frost risk. The correct answer is A, a cool continental climate with warm river influence. So the river Rhine that is passing south of Rheingau region is very wide and is producing slightly warmer temperatures in the Rheingau region. And also there's a protection in the north that is protecting from the cool winds that are coming from the north. What is the role of Rhone River in German viticulture? It provides irrigation for drought-prone vineyards. It moderates the climate, providing warmth and reducing frost risk. It increases rainfall for better grape ripening. It limits vineyard expansion due to its proximity. The correct answer is B. It moderates the climate, providing warmth and reducing frost risk, but it also increases humidity in the vineyard, which is beneficial for noble rot wines like Beerenauslese and Trockenbeerenauslese wines. Which region produces distinctive Silvaner wines packaged in box bottle bottles? Mosel, Franken, Rheingau, Baden. The correct answer is B, Franken. If you never saw like a box bottle, it's like this shape, like a flat kind of oval shape bottle. It's very specific to Franken. What is the German synonym for Pinot Noir? Spätburgunder, Weißburgunder, Grauburgunder, Dornfelder. I love German vocabulary. The correct answer is A, Spätburgunder. I mean, Germany is so difficult when you go deep into the vocabulary, and there's so much terminology, and Germany can be very technical. For that reason, I was always stressing out, and my head was always like pumping, because it was so difficult to understand all that and to memorize it. But now I love Germany, because it's very specific. There's a lot of things to learn about Germany, but it takes time for you to, your head needs to grow a little bit before it gets more comfortable. Why is hen harvesting with winches used in steep German vineyard? Winches are basically machines that have this like rope, metal rope, that is connecting to the back strap of the pickers, so they can actually pick the grapes without falling. It increases grape yield. It is necessary due to the steep slopes. It reduces cost of labor. It prevents overripening of the grapes. So the correct answer is B. It's necessary due to the steep slopes. So people get winched down on the slopes of vineyards in Germany. So this is the only way, because of the steepness of the slopes, for them to safely pick the grapes. What is the minimum ripeness required for Auslese wine? So fully ripe grapes without noble rot, selected ripe bunches, often with noble rot influence, grape harvested early for high acidity, grapes frozen on the wine. So Auslese actually means that it's selected grape bunches that can have influence of noble rot. So Kabinett is the first predicate level, Spätlese is the second. So both of these wines, so Kabinett is less ripe than Spätlese, but then Auslese is even more riper than Spätlese, but it's not the whole bunches that they pick. It is selected bunches that are very ripe and can have noble rot influence. But the wines are still dry. What is the PGI wine? What is a PGI wine in Germany known as? Qualitätswein, Landwein, Prädikatswein, Deutscher Wein. The correct answer is B, Landwein. Deutscher Wein is a wine without geographical indication. How many wine regions, also called Anbaugebiete, are there in Germany? 10, 12, 13, 15. The correct answer is C, 13. There's 13 Anbaugebiete or designated wine regions. What is the PDO requirements for German wines? The grapes must come from one region and adhere to strict quality regulations. Wine must be blended from multiple regions. Wines must have minimum alcohol of 15%. Wines must be aged for at least 10 years. The correct answer is A. Grapes must come from one region and stick to the rules of that region. What does it mean when a German wine label lists the village name before the vineyard name? It indicates the wine is from a single vineyard within that village. It is a generic labeling requirements for all the wines. It signifies the wine is blended from multiple vineyards. It is a label for sparkling wines only. The correct answer is A. It indicates wine from a single vineyard within that village. So first, when you see the name of the village, so if there's several words in the description of where the wine comes from, the first word indicates the vineyard and the second word the village. I mean, how can you know this? Well, I mean, there's several things that you should be looking on the label, especially for these wines coming from a specific vineyards. Most probably the wines are going to be in this GG quality level, which are going to indicate Grand Cru wines, Premier Cru wines, regional wines, village wines, and regional wines. And then you need to know the name of specific villages. What is the German synonym for Müller-Thurgau? Silvaner, Riesling, Silvaner, Dornfelder. The correct answer is A, Riesling. What grapes were crossed to create Müller-Thurgau? Riesling and Madeleine Royale, Silvaner Pinot Noir, Riesling Pinot Gris, Dornfelder and Trollinger. The correct answer is A, Riesling and Madeleine Royale. This is what I mean when I say that Müller-Thurgau is a crossing, not a hybrid, because it's a crossing between two Vitis vinifera grapes. What is the German synonym for Pinot Blanc and Pinot Gris? Grauburgunder, Weißburgunder, Spätburgunder, Grauburgunder, Weißburgunder, Dornfelder, Riesling, Silvaner. So the correct answer is A, Grauburgunder, also Pinot Gris, and Weißburgunder, Pinot Blanc. How are you going to remember this? Pinot Blanc, Weißburgunder. Grauburgunder, just Grauburgunder. I don't have nothing. What are the characteristics of Dornfelder? A light-bodied wine with citrus notes, deep color, soft tannins, fruity flavors of blackberry and cherry, sweet wine with noble rot influence, exclusively used for sparkling wines. The correct answer is B. Dornfelder produces deep color, soft tannins, fruity flavors of blackberry and cherry. I didn't hear, probably there is premium styles of Dornfelder, but it's well known for producing deep color and soft tannin red wines. Name two key villages in the Mosel region. Berenkastel, Piesport, Oppenheim, Niersten, Bad Dürkheim, Dedesheim, Asmannhausen, Rudesheim. Beautiful. The correct answer is A, Berenkastel and Piesport. This is sommelier kind of knowledge where you need to know the name of the villages in a region. Name the two important villages in Nahe region. Bernkastel and Weinheim, Bad Kreuznach and Schloss Bockenheim, Dedesheim and Forst, Hattenheim and Geisenheim. The correct answer is B, Bad Kreuznach and Schloss Bockenheim. What is the role of Taunus Hills in Rheingau? Protects vineyards from the cold northern winds, enhances the acidity in the grapes, reduces the impact on fungal diseases, increases rainfall during the growing season. So this is one of the factors in Rheingau that makes Rheingau slightly warmer in order to produce more richer style of Riesling. So the correct answer is A, protects the vineyards from the cold northern winds. Name two villages in Rheingau known for Pinot Noir. Asmachhausen and Rudesheim, Niersten and Bad Kreuznach, Bernkastel and Piersport, Forst and Dedesheim. The correct answer is A, Asmachhausen and Rudesheim. Name two key villages in Rheinhessen, Niersten and Worms, Rudesheim, Wechlen, Schloss Bockenheim, Asmachhausen, Dedesheim and Bad Dürkheim. The correct answer is A, Niersten and Worms. What is the Rheinstraße in Rheinhessen? So a stretch of vineyards along the Rhine River for high quality Riesling, a region producing exclusively red wines, an area for sparkling wine production, and terraced vineyards site for noble rot wines. The correct answer is A, a stretch of vineyards. They're also terraced, I believe, along the Rhine River that are very famous in Rheinhessen for high quality Riesling. Name the two villages in Pfalz known for wine production. Dedesheim and Forst, Bad Kreuznach and Schloss Bockenheim, Bernkastel and Piersport, Asmachhausen and Rudesheim. The correct answer is A, Dedesheim and Forst. What is the role of Hardat mountains in Pfalz? Hardat mountain is the continuation of Vosges mountains in Alsace. They provide a rain shadow effect, creating a dry and sunny climate. They increase rainfall, benefiting wine growth. They cool vineyards, preserving acidity. They prevent frost damage in the winter. The correct answer is A. They provide a rain shadow effect, creating a dry and sunny climate as in Alsace. Describe the climate of Pfalz: cool and continental with frequent rainfall, warm and dry, one of Germany's sunniest regions, maritime with high humidity, alpine with late frost risk. The correct answer is B, warm and dry, one of the Germany's sunniest regions, as we explained now. Name the two key villages in Baden: Tunisberg and Kaisertull, Bernkastel and Piersport, Schloss Bockenheim and Oppenheim, Forst and Dedesheim. The correct answer is A, Tunisberg and Kaisertull. How are you going to remember this German villages? Honestly, for level 3 in wine, and for WSET in general, it's not that important. Even if you get like a question or 2 or 3 for the name of German villages, you're going to lose few points on the multiple choice part, which is not going to be a big deal. Where on the short written answer, this kind of information is not really that important, because you're going to get 1 point. Or you're going to lose 1 point because you didn't remember the name of the vineyard or village or this fact information. The more important, I'm always repeating this, is having the understanding of factors in the vineyard, in the winery, that is affecting the style, quality and price of the wine. What grape is most associated with Baden's warmer vineyards? Spätburgunder or Pinot Noir, Müller-Thurgau, Riesling, Silvaner. The correct answer is A, Spätburgunder, Pinot Noir. When I say warmer vineyards, it's not warm. It's warmer than the rest of the Germany, which is quite cold. Last question. What bottle shape is traditionally associated with Franken wines? Bordeaux bottle, box bottle, Burgundy bottle, the flute bottle. The correct answer is B, box bottle. Wine people, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope these videos are helping you for you to prepare for your WSET Level 3 in Wines course and exam. Also, I would love to help if you have any questions. We have a whole program dedicated to help you with your WSET Level 3 in Wines exam. I would love to help. In the meantime, please stay thirsty and wise.